Hey everyone, how's it going? Happy Friday. I'm gonna draw some names today. I was looking at the chat while I was the thing was playing, and I saw some stuff in there. I saw, let's see, um I saw Matt Crank saying that the worst part of these drawing challenges is that you see other people being better, and let me tell you, that is super relatable, but don't let it get you down because that never goes away. I've been doing this professionally for a very long time now, almost 20 years, and I've worked with dream clients, and I still see other people's work every day online, and I go, "Wow, I am trash bag." So I think that's just part of it. I think it's also if like you were really satisfied with everything that you made, it wouldn't be good either because although you might feel better, I feel like you wouldn't have that drive to get better or wanna get better. And not even that, like, you need to get better, but it just, like, pushes you to come up with new things and be more creative. So, I don't know. I just saw that. And then I saw something else on here, which is just a wild thing that I can't even wrap my head around. Uh, yeah, Illustrating said, "I've been struggling with today's prompt because I didn't wanna draw another skull." I can't relate to that at all. I've never not wanted to draw another skull. Hope everyone is doing well. If you don't know what I'm talking about uh, Inktober, more specifically Stinktober, which is my drawing prompts list the for the month. You would think I would have a graphic to pop up. I don't. I didn't do that. But here we are. I have a prompt list called Stinktober, and last my last video is all about it. There's contests, there's stuff that you can win. There's prizes, and you can find out more about that there. Today's uh, today's prompt was Grim Weeper. No, I don't have a speech impediment. It's Grim Reaper, but he's crying. So that's the prompt. I what am I trying to say here? Um, there's something important. Listen, I'm very tired. I think my child is trying to murder me with sleep deprivation, and uh, it's not ideal. I'm very tired. But anyway, I'm drawing some names today. It's gonna be fun. I'm excited about it. Let me just quickly mention a couple things. I have a new shirt that is in production right now that I'm very excited about. These are a limited run screen printed shirt on comfort colors, just the best blanks. Uh, and this is probably the fanciest product I've ever made. These were, a little bit pricey, if I'm being honest, because they're 3 color prints in, 3 different locations plus the inner branding, but I'm very excited about them, and they'll be shipping in a couple weeks. There's some of the sizes are already selling out, so if you want one, you could grab one, and you could use the promo code. Nope, not that one. I didn't fix it. The promo code LIVE to get a discount. I'm unorganized today, and I am sorry. Promo code LIVE to get a discount. But if you are a patron or a YouTube channel member, check your perks there because you get a better discount. So use that one. And we got other stuff in the shop too. I got this new hats. I think the black ones might be sold out. If they're not sold out, there's like one left. But there's still the gray ones. Pretty excited about these. Those will be shipping very, very soon. Uh, Apparently, I needed to order more than I did because I had never done a hat before, so didn't know how they would do. So, um, I don't know. Maybe we'll do another one soon. I think that's all I have to say. Uh, I got I got some fonts too. Okay. I think that's all I want to say. I hope everyone is doing well. If you missed it last night, I did a live stream on Instagram for Retro Supply Co. for their prompt Ghost. So I actually did two yesterday. I did Stinktober's and Retro Supply Co.'s. Uh, yeah, let's start drawing names. Feel free to pop. Oh wait, I didn't do the most important thing. I just want to shout out my patrons. All of the official Piascik and above get their name drawn and included in all the videos I make while they are active patrons. Maybe I move my mouth over here. You can like see it in between these names. Anyway, these are my special heroes, and I appreciate you all so very much. So thank you for all that you do. Speaking of Patreon, Piascik tier, yeah, Piascik tier, official Piascik tier and above, all, one of the perks is a weekly, not a weekly, a monthly digital hangout, and the next one is, I'm gonna be live drawing the Slug Pug for Stinktober, which is, what day is that? Have you guys ever seen me less or more, disorganized? Slug Pug is the 13th. So you can find the link to that on Patreon. If you are an official Piascik, you'll have a link to that Google Hangout, and it'll be, I'll be drawing, hanging out, talking, chatting. It'll be so much fun. Mark Mavi, you said so far my Stinktober sketches are pretty stinky compared to what I thought I would be able to make. However, I just started drawing on a tablet versus mouse. So yeah, definitely be kind to yourself. These are supposed to be fun. They're just ideas for things to draw. Sometimes the, quick, rough sketches can be the good ones. Also do want to say that my Instagram account right now is overwhelming because so many people are doing Stinktober prompts, and it is blowing me away, and it's amazing, and there's so many good ones, but I just feel guilty every time I open up Instagram and, like, the notifications are just, like, maxed out because I know I'm missing some, and, I'm trying to comment and like and share on a lot of them, but I'm missing some, and I'm sorry. I love them all, so please don't feel like I didn't like your drawing if you don't see my like or something, because it probably means I just didn't see it. Also, the Instagram algorithm is a trash bag, so there's always that. All right, let me draw some names. Also, I'm putting a lot of pressure on myself with these Inktober prompts because so many of you are doing such amazing ones that I'm like, oh man, I really need to not drop the ball on this. So, it goes all around. Um, Feel free to keep comments coming or questions, comments and questions, even though I'll be looking down at my screen. Matt Ballwork, channel moderator, will put them into a document so I can glance up at them from time to time and answer questions. Let me switch over to my iPad. And special shout out Cameron Gant for being the newest official Piascik, whose name didn't get added to that main graphic yet. So thank you, Cameron, if you are here. If not, thank you anyway. Okay, the first name on the chat. Well, first, let's put on my background spooky music because this is October, so it's spooky season. Spooky drawings. I don't know if we'll do all spooky drawings, but Skippy McHaggis said, "Love that double T and Gant. Thank you so much." Matt is encouraging questions in the chat, so I have something to talk about. Yes, absolutely. I appreciate that. I would love that. First name is Matt Crank, who I believe that was who I gave a pep talk to right when I came in. I came in hot. Matt Crank. Matt Crank. What are we gonna do? Guys, I'm so tired. I'm just, I don't know why. Like I always say, oh, I'm just playing around just to figure something out. Like I feel like I need to dictate what I'm doing. But you know what it is. You know how it goes. Ooh, look, this angle. makes a perfect connection to that A, which is, ooh, and that would go perfectly into the N. What a perfect combination of things. Can we tie in the others? Can we match that? We need to use the symmetry to see if we can get these angles to be the same. T Scraples, you said up at 7 a.m. on the West Coast for this. Thank you, Chris. You've had FOMO for a long time. Well, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate that. If it makes you feel any better, my kid woke me up before 5 o'clock and then like was trying to demand he was going to get up for the day and then was just not having it. And I was like trying to go back to sleep. But every time I doze off, he'd be like, and he wasn't necessarily calling his mom. He just says mom when he gets up, regardless of, that's just his word for, hey, come and get me. I don't know. He never calls me. I'm not going to be offended by it though. Okay. So what am I trying to figure out here? Oh, it was these angles. Sorry, I got distracted. Okay. I wanted that. And then so those aren't going to match. Well, maybe. Let's see. We'll figure it out. We can just draw some shapes here and then see if we can make it work. But I just want some, like a guide type situation to try to match it, because I feel like the symmetry could be cool. All right, let's turn off symmetry and then try to work with this sketch shape. Marcus Rice, you said, hey all, good morning. You've been having a fun time stinking it up so far? Got a fun alien one in my head. Awesome. I started sketching mine out, and I think I did it last year too, but I did like a version of the alien from Mars Attacks, because it is with like the skull with the big brain coming out of it. Basically any excuse for me to draw a skull I'm going to take. Unlike Illustrating, who's sick of skulls. I think maybe I'm not sick of skulls because I still don't feel like I've ever made the skull that I've never been fully satisfied with a skull. I have skull envy on a regular basis. Nearly every day I see a skull and I go, man, I wish I did a skull that cool. All right, I need to get in the zone here because I'm struggling a little bit with the complexity of this. Maybe this R needs to come down and the C needs to end there. We got this. And so maybe that can't work. Maybe I'm trying to do too much here. Maybe it doesn't have to be perfect, but maybe we can like draw something based on this shape. Because this is chaos right now. This doesn't look like anything. Okay, so we have this A thing. I like that as a center structural point, and then the issue here is the N not doing what we want. So maybe it's just using that shape. And then maybe it doesn't have to connect. to the end. I don't know. Oh, I like that we can get those 2 points on the sides, maybe. I think if we just adjust the angles now based on this drawing, we could tweak them a little bit. Let me see. What is happening here? Okay. Matt Crank said, "Oh yeah, thanks for the Frank Pepe recommendation. You had the clam chopper and the pepper. Nice. Good choices. Glad that worked out for you. I forgot that you made that recommendation." Okay. Because my brain is half dead right now, we're still on the first. We haven't even figured out the map part, but that's gonna be easy. You guys know the first one's hard for me, okay? So stop yelling at me. I'm just not ready to give up on this. I feel like there's so much potential with this angle stuff. I have to solve this mystery or this puzzle. Maker Mavi, you said hashtag my stinkytober 2025, right? Isn't that the tag we should use on Instagram? Yes, that is the tag to like share it to help people see it. But if you want to enter the contest officially, make sure you're uploading through the link on uploading through my website. There's a contest page which is linked on below in the video, or if you just go to my website chrispiascik.com, you can scroll to the bottom and you'll see the contest link, and then there's this Inktober one. We're not supposed to be sketching this much without figuring out the first name, but it's all going to be based around this crank thing because I think it's going to be cool. Okay, let's. Because this is going to be like the whole structure, I want to figure this out before we go and do the first name. So let's get in there. Ed Sandwich said, I think your kid and my cats have been talking. They've been waking me up in the middle of the night for a few days. Yeah, it's not ideal. People and cats are trying to mess with your sleep schedule. I think it's like extra bad because like this month I always feel like this way, but I feel like extra this month I have a lot to do because the last like almost 2 weeks of October, I'm gonna be in California for the Lightbox Expo and then Adobe Max, and they're like back to back. So I have to like get a lot of client work and also like videos done to keep up on my posting schedule because I can't not do that. I don't know. A lot of people would just be like, oh, we're just gonna, take a couple weeks off, but not crazy me. I'm like, no, I can't do that. It'll ruin everything. Can't decide if I like this A thing, the triangle. I don't know if I do. I think maybe I just want like a curve thing. Who knows? Let's see. Speaking of Inktober, if you watch the video, I talk about how there's no rules and you can do whatever you want. And someone that is pushing that to the max that I was somehow missing, because as I told you, it's hard to see everything. The good Chad, it was making songs or like just like music based on the prompt, and they're so good. Check some of those out. They are delightful. All right, let's see what we can do for Matt, since we've already drawn this whole last name without even getting there. And then the next one is gonna just go. I sure hope we can come up with something easy for this. Oh, I like that we could like do a double A situation. 2 T's don't make anything easy. The good Chad, you said, thanks. I'm a bit behind. I'm going to be a bit behind because I made the mistake of using a tool in Premiere Pro that slowed the project to a crawl and kept me from getting started on the next one. Man, what? Does anyone know? Well, Premiere is like the slowest thing in the world aside from After Effects. I gotta say, like, as much as people call me an Adobe shill or fanboy, it's really only just because I love Fresco so much. Like, Adobe Premiere is a trash can. Okay. Oh, you know what we can do? We could put like a little serif tail thing on that map. There. Okay. I think I want to just shorten the A. I just realized I merged the name on there. That's fine. It's fine. No big deal. Everyone calm down. Let's just take a little off the top. Let's run the smoothing down a little bit. All right. Maker Mabby, you said, have you tested out any drawing apps on Android tablets? If so, what would you recommend, or should I just buy an iPad? Okay. Well, there's a review of me testing the Magic Drawing Pad. It's an Android tablet. I forget who makes it. And it was fine, but like, I know that I'm like an Apple nerd, but I just feel like the iPad experience is just so much better and more intuitive. I know other people will say I'm wrong, but I just feel like the screen's better, the Apple Pencil's better, but you can absolutely use one of those things. They're not bad at all. I would say, although I didn't have a good experience in the video, that was my user error because I just like didn't know and spend the time learning. But you can get Clip Studio Pro, and lots of people who know what they're doing use and love that app. It was very confusing to me, but again, I had never used it before. All right, holy moly. We spent a long time on this, but we're gonna get going. I hope you like it, Matt Crank. Let's just get rid of this up here. We're gonna eat. Hold on. I'm sorry. I know I said we were done, but I feel like because I did this like implied thing down here, I think it might benefit from like an overall like wiggly frame to pull it all together. Maybe? I don't know. Maybe I'll regret this, but let's just try real quick. Yeah, I think that's it. We just need to do a little too much meat down at the bottom over there on that side. Okay, cool. We're gonna get in the zone now, and it's gonna be great. Next up is the longest name I've ever seen in a live stream. Kimber. That seems like too many letters. Did I write them all down? Matsumoto. When I don't get enough sleep, my ADHD is so much worse, and it's like so pronounced when I try to look at a name and write it down. I think that's probably why I get so drained afterwards. Like when I finish one of these live streams, I just want to like lay on the floor. not that it's not fun, it's a lot of fun, it's just my brain. Alright, this is so long, what are we gonna do? I said this one was gonna be fast. Um, it's hard to not wanna try to do, like, a script situation because it's so long, and that might, make it easier, but there's just these, like, letters that work well for it. Maybe it could be, like, a hybrid script thing where it's, like so I'm trying to it's script, but it also has to be spooky. Kimber. Let's see. Mets. Let's see if we can use like liquefy to make this a more interesting shape. I want to see if I can do something fun. Oh, maybe this S, not S, the tail of this Y could like connect to that top of that T. I think it just needs to be more narrow, like less of a swoop, so that it doesn't interact or like cut into the M space too much. Okay. Ed Sandwich, he said, gotta maintain that momentum. Maybe you'll get a good rest in November. We'll see. Matt Crank said, do you get to make suggestions to Adobe for Fresco? I have from time to time, but everyone can, and they actually look at them. So like in the app, there's a thing on the homepage to like add suggestions, I think, where it says like features or like upcoming features. And I think a lot of people assume that no one will see it or it just gets flooded because Adobe is a huge company. But what you have to remember about Adobe is it's like one of the reasons why they're like some things are annoying. It's because it's a huge company, but it's so like separate. Like the Adobe Fresco team is like a small team, and it's like, you know, so separate from like any other part of Adobe. They're like all these like little companies that don't necessarily interact on a regular basis. But like I'm going to Adobe Max to be at the I was invited to go be at the Fresco booth and like demo stuff. So, you know, I get to like the whole team is there. So like I talked to them about stuff. And like last time when I was there, I was hanging out and they were like watching me work and like asking me lots of questions about things that I would like to see or like things I would change. So, yeah. I don't have a ton of impact, but they're definitely open and try to do as much as they can. But it is a small team. All right, let's tighten this up. Marina, you said that is a lot of letters. I'm interested to see the final drawing. You do such great work. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. This is a lot of letters, I gotta say. All right. I'm starting with this YT connection because so many other letters are going to be affected by how it fits together. So drawing this in first will make sure that it works properly. And speaking of features, I actually got some like early access to this like new feature they were working on that they were having me like test out, and man, it is wild. I have a specific video that will be coming out in a couple weeks about it, but it's not even something that I wanted or even like knew to want. Like, it is crazy, and it feels like magic. It's nothing to do with AI. There's no AI involved, in case you're wondering about that when I say magic. But it is crazy. That's all I can say for now. So look out for that. It honestly blew me away. It was like one of the first things that I was like, this is insane in a long time. All right. I need to move down to the last name to like make sure things continue to flow together. When I'm doing two like lines of lettering, especially like names like this, I have to remember to like not just do all like the top or bottom when they like depend on each other, because then you could get some like awkward areas. And also spacing things, like to skip around like this because the length I think is important for the composition here. And if I just like worked my way across, it could start to slowly get like longer and longer. If I skip around like this, then I can just sort of like make it work into the space that I've allocated. At Sandwich, you said sometimes the Fresco team will reach out for feedback and even have a call with you to talk about new features and stuff. Yeah, that's for sure. Oh my god. A spider just like dropped down onto my desk. Emergency. Everyone thinks, ooh. Well, not everyone thinks, but some people are like, oh, you have such a nice fancy office, but it's in a basement. Did you know that? Sometimes there's spiders. Matt Crank, you said it's like you went pro as a BMXer, except you were sponsored by Adobe. I wish I was sponsored by Adobe. I'm not. I don't get paid by Adobe. Well, I'm getting like my travel covered to go to Max, but it's because I'm going to be like working at the booth demoing stuff, but I'm not technically like other stuff. I don't get anything for the videos I make for them unless it's like a sponsored video, but I make that clear in the videos if it's sponsored. All right, let's see if we spelled it right. Anything? Just a couple. Cool. I hope you like it. Next up is Ultraviolet, not ultraviolet. Okay. We might have to do it as like 2 lines to get that like ultra vibe, whatever that means. Like maybe we could do some sort of like cool shape. Is that a cool shape? That's not a cool shape. Or maybe it's just like really bold ultra. That's like 3D. And then we had violets. I'm just saying the name. Why am I just saying the name? The O is right in the middle. Right? Yeah. So maybe like the ultra could be like coming out of the center of the O. Like the ultra. Maybe that. I do like that idea. But like, how do we do the rest of the violet lettering to be cool? I think we got something happening. A little too wide. Vidar, you said Gaussian blur is something I miss in Fresco. I think I see that. I think I've seen that like as a listed upcoming feature where it says like things that are upcoming. It's not something that I use, but I do know that I've heard many people say that. So I wouldn't be surprised if it comes. It can't be that much of a thing to bring in. Okay, I think this is gonna work. Let's get it. Let's get it going. Okay, so I think what I want to do is like same brush, but like straighter lines for Violet, and then the Ultra will be more like explosion-y. Scotty, you said, do you know anyone at Adobe named Susie? I went to school with her. She's a friend of mine. I don't, but Adobe is just a massive, massive company. I know very few people. Like, I've met most of the people on the Fresco team, but again, that's just a handful of people. And there's a few other that I've met from time to time, but don't know that many people. Especially not like people at other apps, which may as well be different companies. I don't love this tea. Okay, that's better. All right, so for the Ultra, I want to like turn down the smoothing so I can do some more like wiggly lines to get that Ultra. James Hozak, you said, what is your favorite horror film? I feel like I get asked this a lot, and I'm always, I guess, a little embarrassed to say that I don't really have one. I'm not a huge horror movie fan. I used to, when I was a kid, I loved Gremlins. Does that count? I'm trying to think about how I want to color this in terms of like black and white. I think we're gonna do the ultra letters filled in, and then Illustrating, you said Gremlins counts. My kid was terrified of that movie for a long time. Yeah, I guess that's reasonable. I haven't seen it in a really long time. Maybe I should watch it again. Maker Mavi said, do you look up phrases for trademarks before you post a sale? What is the licensing rule with the SpongeBob stuff, for example? If you just post it on social. I mean, I just do the SpongeBob like joke drawings are just like a fun thing. I'm not like doing SpongeBob merchandise or anything like that. You know, just doing like a drawing for fun is fine to share on social media. That's like, I mean, there's a whole world of just people who do fan art all the time. It's just like can be dicey if you're trying to like sell merch of, you know, a different of like stuff that's not your own intellectual property, right? In terms of like phrases, you know, there's like a little bit of a gray area, but if it's like a short phrase, it's usually fine. Generally, you can't really copyright a short phrase. There's like some things that I avoid, like I did this drawing of these lyrics by the band Lawn that I like. It was just like a drawing, but people asked me to do shirts of it, and I'm like, well, you know, I probably could because it's like a short little phrase, but I feel a little weird about it. So I haven't done it. But if I decided to, you know, maybe I would ask to see if I could get permission first. But you know, it's definitely a gray area. And then also with that kind of thing, usually this isn't legal advice or anything, but if you did do something and someone was upset about it, it's not like you just immediately get sued or go to jail. They just say like, stop doing that. They give you like a cease and desist, and you're like, okay, sorry, I won't sell that anymore. Okay, Ultraviolet, I hope you like it. Next up is two names again. I'm going to pretend that it's one name because they're both short. Obie and Echo. All right, what are we going to do? Nobody knows. I don't know. You don't know. Nobody knows. I wonder if there's something with like the O's. I don't know. like this, like the connection between them. We can match the letter counts by using an ampersand for the and. Maybe it could look like eyeballs. And then it's like, we could like put it in a dark orb. And then these are like eyeballs. It's like the shadow creeper prompt. I think there's something here. Trying to figure out a way to like get the symmetry a little bit more, and then have like this curve. Vidar, you said awesome. You usually use Gaussian blur when you color with halftones. You duplicate the color layers and then blur the one underneath with only to get the effect that the ink looks more real. Oh, that's a cool way to do it. Sometimes I will do like the halftones and then select it and then fill it with the Rezo brushes to like do like a weird hybrid of the two. And that sort of like blurs it a little bit almost. Anthony Powers, you said, are you going to do Stinksgiving and Stink? No. That's too soon to be doing a challenge right after wrapping up one. All right, let's see how I can make this like outer shape work without being too much. All right, we can do it. We can make it work. I don't love the first part of Echo yet, but we'll get it. I think I'm gonna do this like outer shape first, and then draw the letters in white to make sure that they don't end up looking like too like the spacing doesn't look odd by reversing them. What? I didn't mean to do that. I think this eye got a little too wiggly. I wanted it to be like a little imperfect, but not too. I think this is one that might need some texture afterwards. Matt Crank, you said, do you ever worry about the political stuff you make and losing clients? I deleted my LinkedIn because I didn't want my name associated with my day job. No, I mean, I've done it my entire time I've been posting things on the internet. Like I was doing it back in like 2004. I figure, you know, maybe from time to time it's happened. I've never heard of, no one's like told me that's been the case. I definitely have had people say they found my work from something like that and that they liked it and wanted to work with me because they found it. So there's that. There is the downside of losing, but there is the whole situation where when people you know, appreciate or respect what you're doing or share your values, you know, it makes them like you more and more likely to work with you. I guess it's almost like that thing where if you make something that nobody hates, nobody will love it. I don't know if that's exactly how the saying goes, but maybe it's like the same sort of thing where it's like if someone really is on board with something, they're more likely to remember it. I want to go overboard, but just like a little bit of extra semi-vein thing just to like emphasize the eye thing a little bit. And then I think I just want to do a mild amount of texture on top. So let's grab this. Let's merge that down. And I think I just want to take a little bit out of the black shadow area, or like the night sky, whatever it is. All right. Hope you like it. Obie and Echo. Next up is Nastra. I don't know how to say that. Maybe I did. R-O-M-A-N. Ova. Nastra Ramanova. All right. Let's see. What on earth are we gonna do here? Maybe start with a shape. I don't know what this shape is, but just sort of playing. Well, let's see if that gets us anywhere. AG Soul, you said, do you use controllers like the 8-bit Duo or the Torbox Elite? Yeah, I have the Torbox Elite, and I found it useful, but I like sometimes forget to use it, and then I don't use it for a long period of time. But when I do like force myself to use it, I'm like, oh yeah, this is cool. I should try to get this into my routine, and then I don't. But like I did a video reviewing it, and I spent like time using it like every day, and it was good. And then I just like forget to actually keep going. I don't know. It's like it takes one day to get out of my routine, and then it's all over. All right, we got a lot of letters here. Let's figure this out. I get a V. And there's an O. There's A. All right, let's fix this up. I'm gonna do some new guidelines and like a color so it's more easier for me to see what I'm doing. Because it seems like this shape worked out pretty well. All right, let's get the problem areas solved first. So, sort of like this NOV area. Tishuan said, heck yeah, the way I see it, if someone's turned off my values, then I probably don't want to work with them anyway. Yeah, absolutely. I know that's like a mildly privileged position, if like you're someone who's struggling to make it work, but I guess that, you know, I'm in that situation, so I can take the hit if there is one. Okay, so this... How does this A fit into the equation here? I guess... Okay. And then I think this is gonna be fine. All right, let's tighten it up. Let's just check the spelling first. Interesting. Seeing it without the shape makes it look a little random, which makes me want to just make that shape slightly more intentional. All right. Crazy E, you said, yay, finally able to catch another live stream. I really enjoy watching the creative process. Thank you so much. Matt Crank said, how do you navigate health insurance? At the moment, it's straightforward because I get it through my wife's job, but before I was married, which was, 10 years of my career as a freelancer, I was able to get private health insurance, and I at the time lived in Massachusetts and in Connecticut, so it's like, the healthcare is a little bit easier than it is in some of the more not progressive states. Like there was living in Mass, there was like, the Obamacare subsidies and stuff like that they like kind of try to not let you have in some of the other states. So it was a little bit easier. It wasn't too expensive, but it was less than insurance costs now, but there's a family involved. But it wasn't the worst. It was pretty straightforward. Actually, when I first went full-time freelance, because like that first year income was low. Actually, I lived in Connecticut at that point, and I think it would have been the same in Massachusetts, but the insurance was like dirt cheap because the income threshold was low or something. I don't remember it. It was so long ago. Vidar, you said, any chance you'll be releasing that cool purple Good Talk shirt again? I managed to rip the entire front on a nail a few days. Oh man, it's a bummer. I've been considering doing maybe like a new version of it. Maybe not exactly the same one. For some reason, I guess there's no reason why I couldn't just redo it, but I just like to switch things up a little bit and like make it slightly different. But give me hit the heart or like button if you're in the chat and you would like a new Good Talk shirt available. I see some hearts moving. I mean, that's looking... it's hard to judge based on that, but it seems pretty positive. Maybe once I recover from this, the new long sleeve shirt, that will be the next on the list. Yeah, there's a couple little spots I want to touch up on this one. Wrong layer. I know this area right here is a little awkward. I'm gonna see if I can just fit it together a little bit better. Ah! Crazy E, you said you missed the original sale. I would love to see another good talk shirt. Thank you for letting me know. I think that was like the first shirt I did in the new shop. All right, given this shape, I think it could just benefit from a thin stroke around the outside. Cool. I hope you like it. And unfortunately, that is time. I gotta run. This has been fun. Paula Duncan, you said you'd love to see a video of your editing process. Editing in terms of my work or like video editing? That's chaotic. This has been a lot of fun. Live streams mostly every Friday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time, and new video on Tuesday. Thank you for hanging out. It's been fun. Keep Stinktober, and I will too. And I will talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.